Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is Tario Sultan. A couple days ago I have finally received my Bobcat miner C300. This is my Helium miner I ordered back in April. I have a video about it, you guys can go check it out. So with the excitement, I set it up at a friend's place, set it overnight, thought I could start earning HNT tokens, but little do I know that I woke up with a miner status showing relayed. I'm sure many of you are having similar problems, so right away I went on this journey of researching and find a lot of people on Discord. By the way, shout out to Helium Discord group, amazing people and amazing community, super helpful. So some experts really pointed out a few points. So in this video I want to include everything that I know that helped me solve my relayed status issue. I have successfully solved the problem and I want to show you guys step by step how you can solve your problem as well. Do me a favor, if this video helped you out or helped you solve your relayed status issue, then drop a like and comment below. Let people know this video is helpful so many others can benefit from it. That is my intention of making this video. So without further ado guys, let's get into it. So let's go through these steps. So number one, what I recommend you guys to do is to log into your Helium app. Assume your miner is officially set up successfully and it's loaded on your Helium app and you have your wallet set up as well. So open up your app and enter your PIN. I recommend do have a PIN there just in case you lose your phone one day, and you pick the miner that has the relayed issue. As you can see here, I have this specific miner. I actually had two of these miners and it's showing relayed issue. And if you click on this yellow icon and it will pop up a window. If you click on the troubleshoot, it will direct you to this Helium troubleshoot webpage. So basically you can give it a read, but what we need to understand is there is one port we need to open. It's called 44158. So basically we need to log into our router and create this exact port. So I'm going to show you guys step by step. Matter of fact, I have two different versions of the Wi-Fi router so I can show you guys. Each Wi-Fi router is slightly different because we're in different country, we have a different router and different brands, but the fundamental is the same, okay? You just need to understand how to do these steps. So first of all, it's really helpful to run an in-app diagnose. So what you do is locate your Bobcat miner. At the back, you're going to see a small little pane hole. It's called the BT button, stands for Bluetooth button. You want to insert the pin that comes with a package. So push this small little button with your pin for about 5 to 10 seconds until your Bobcat miner indicates a blue light. So when that happens, we have turned on the Bluetooth mode. So once you turn on the Bluetooth mode, you want to locate the miner on your app. You're going to see in the middle section, we have this wheel icon. That's a settings icon. Click on it once. It will load up this screen. This is three different options. Plus at the bottom, it says pair. You want to click on this blue pair button. Give it a few seconds. As long as you have a Bobcat miner Bluetooth mode on, it should scan it and do its job and find exact miner that's set at your place. You want to select this miner and then you're going to see three more options. You want to pick the first option, says diagnostic, so it should bring a report out. Basically you can see the connection, the outbound and inbound connection. You can see the syncing status. What I do recommend is to screenshot this entire screen because in a bit we're going to use the IP address on your Bobcat miner. We're also going to verify the Wi-Fi MAC address. So these two are really important. You will see what I mean just in a bit. Just do a screenshot and that's all you need to do. And now what you need to do is you want to go to locate your Wi-Fi router. So one of the Wi-Fi routers, I took a photo here. In the bottom or at the back, you're going to see the Wi-Fi router model number and your network name and password. At the bottom, you're going to see this admin settings and admin username and a password. This IP address usually starts with a 192.168. some other numbers. You want to use this to log into your local network to configure your Wi-Fi router. So I'm a Mac user, so just in case if you don't know how to do it, another way you can locate this specific IP address to log into your Wi-Fi router is to click on your Wi-Fi icon, okay, go to Network Preferences, obviously log into your Wi-Fi, and then click on Advanced, and the second option says CTP/IP, and you're going to see the router IP is associated with it is 192.168. some other number. So this is the exact number we're going to copy. And now what you want to do is open your browser on your computer. You want to type in this router IP address. Again, it's 192.168 or some other numbers. Again, each router might be slightly different. Usually the login name is admin, but the reason we want to locate the Wi-Fi router is because the password is on this router. It's written on this router. At least a couple of the routers that I've seen, they have their password attached to it. This is first of my friends. This is one of the company in Canada. It's called a TELUS. So you can see we have login to the backend, and you need to insert your username and a password to log into the backend to do all the modification and settings. After you have successfully logged in, one thing you need to be aware of is our dashboard might look slightly different because they're designed by different companies. But again, you want to kind of look around and flip with the different menu settings. So majority of these settings, your first one you want to go to is called a firewall. So once you locate the firewall, you want to click on it once. So you can see here under the firewall, we have a few menu items. The one we want to go to is called the port forwarding. And you can see here, I have this port forwarding opened, and you can either manually enter the IP address or you can select the device. Again, some router would let you manually typing there, and some routers would already populate to you the local connected devices. In here, if you have your Bobcat miner successfully set up, you should be able to see Bobcat miner option. The reason we ran a diagnose and took a screenshot of the report earlier is because the IP address should be the same here as the Bobcat miner. If you have to manually typing the address, that is the address you want to fill in here. However, if you do have a drop down like this, let you select the device, simply locate the Bobcat miner and click on it once, and you want to select this device. In the lane IP address, it will automatically fill in there. Again, if you want to manually do it, enter the exact IP address from the report. And now in the start port, you want to type in 44158. And in the end port, you want to do 44158. Basically, you want to do this 4 times. Start port and end port, you want to all fill in 44158. And the protocol, you want to go with a TCP. That's what you want to go with. When you're done with this step, just click on apply or add or any one of these buttons that's on your router settings. And then you can see at the bottom, we have applied a port forwarding rule. We're not done yet, we're almost there. So the second place you want to go to is something called reserve a static IP address, meaning you are telling your local network that your Bobcat miner is having a static IP address. So it's not moving the IP address, it's confusing the entire Helium network. Basically, you want to reserve or associate one static IP address to this specific miner that's connected to your local Wi-Fi. Okay, so it won't jump around. So what you want to do is flip through your menus. They might have a different names here and there. So what I actually find out is when I click on advanced setup on this specific friend's network, I have to click on proceed. I am an advanced user. And then after logging to the advanced mode, I found this specific option called the DHCP Reservation. So you can find some similar language. Basically, they should give you a description to tell you you, hey, this setting is for you to associate or attach to a specific static IP address to your device. A lot of the router that I logged into, I found the same option called a DHCP reservation or reserve. You can see here we have a drop-down menu again. We can select the Bobcat miner, or if you don't have that option, simply manually input an IP address. So this IP address should be the one on the diagnose report that you took a screenshot earlier. There's another scenario that could happen is it's asking you for the MAC address. This is also located on our diagnose page we took a screenshot earlier. So you're going to see the MAC address. You can see here in the specific option, there's a whole bunch of codes here. I really don't know which one is Bobcat miner. That is why I ran a diagnose report earlier. So now I know which one exactly is a Bobcat miner. So just locate this MAC address. Again, if you have the device option that's showing you, then just go for it. If you don't, then there should be an option to ask you for an IP address. If you don't see that option, then it's probably asking you for a MAC address. So just select that specific MAC address, which is associated with the Bobcat miner. And now I have this second option says select an IP address you want to associate with this MAC address. There's going to be either a drop-down menu for you to pick from. If you can locate this one, that's great. If you don't, then there should be a menu add in IP address field. So in here, this IP address is exactly the same as the diagnose report. We took a screenshot earlier. Just simply pick or manually input the Bobcat miner IP address. So pretty much that's all you need to do. And from there, you want to click on apply or add. And you can see here at the bottom, DHCP reservation list. I have a Bobcat miner and I have the MAC address associated with it, and as well as a static IP address that's associated with this miner. So from now, this will be the static IP address instead of the dynamic one that jumps around when you move around. So that's all you need to do. After these two steps are done, you're pretty close to finishing line. However, I talked to a few experts on the Discord group. Some of them told me that there's another option you might be able to find on your router backend here. It's called a UPhP. So this option, they recommended to disable it or turn it off, okay? So however, I do recommend you guys to maybe just do the first two steps and to see if your status actually get fixed. If not, then eventually you can come into the UPhP and just turn that option off, okay? That's all you need to do. After you finish all these steps, what you can basically do is to restart your Wi-Fi router as well as your Bobcat miner. So in my case, I asked my friend to unplug the Wi-Fi router and wait for a few seconds and plug it back in, as well as the Bobcat miner, the Helium miner. You want to unplug it and wait for a few seconds, plug it back. That should restart everything, and to apply the configuration we just did to the miner. After you have done everything, what you want to do is you want to come to a website called portchecker.co. The link is in the description. You can find it there. So once you're coming to this website, it should automatically load your default IP address. Just leave this field as is. In the port number field, you want to change whatever it is on it to 44158. And the rest, you just leave it as is. This FTP21, these are some other default options. Just ignore them completely. After you've done that, you click on check. You should be able to see the port 44158 is open. Okay, that's a really good sign that you have done everything successfully. So I've done this a couple times at the two different places of my friends. I want to show you one more case just for a case study purpose. So in here, I went to the second friend's place. First thing you want to do again is you set up your Bobcat miner, and then you want to turn on the Bluetooth mode by pushing with a pin for 5 to 10 seconds at the back of the miner, so the blue light should be on. And from there I asked him where his router is, and he showed me the Wi-Fi router. In here you can see this router shows you the IP address you can log in with and the username and the password. You just need to grab this IP address and then you open your browser. You can see here I typed it in. It's going to ask for username and password, and enter that successfully. You should be able to log into the backend. You can see this backend is slightly different than the first one, so this is two different companies, but the fundamental is about the same. I was able to quickly click here and there, flip through different menu options and locate similar fundamentals because the whole logic is about the same. I went to advanced options and I found under security, I found a port forwarding. In here we just need to add a new port forwarding. I have either choose the device drop down menu or enter the menu IP address. So in here I was able to find the Bobcat miner. I don't have to enter the IP address manually, but if you don't have that option, again, it's in the diagnose screenshot report page. You are able to find your miner IP address there. So the protocol is TCP. It's going to ask for port start. In port start section, you want to enter 44158. So you can see I have two different sections that's asking for port start and end. Basically, you're typing 44158. At the bottom, I typed in 44158 and click on apply. And within a few seconds, we have added this entire new port forwarding. This is associated with the Bobcat miner. So after this step is done, what I did is I went to UPhP. Again, you don't have to do this at the beginning stage. I'd recommend you to do port forwarding plus static IP reserve first and to see if the problem goes away. If doesn't, you can certainly come to UPhP and disable this option. This is somebody in the Helium Discord group told me about it. Turn off the UPhP option. So when I'm done with it, and then the last option is I was able to go under advanced again and IP addressing. I was able to locate DHCP Reservation. It's exactly the same term as the previous network. In here, I need to select a device or go with a MAC address. So you should be able to find both numbers under the diagnose report page. Again, here under device, I have a drop down menu and I picked Bobcat miner here. And then the IP address I want to associate with it is the exact IP address on the diagnose page. So you either have a drop down menu, a whole bunch of IP for you to pick from, or you need to manually type it in. After typing it, I clicked on apply, and then that's it. We have reserved a static IP address for this Bobcat miner. So that's pretty much it. I left his place. You just have to be patient with it, let it do its thing. You know, it might take several hours. In my specific case, I waited about 8 to 10 hours. After 8 to 10 hours, I logged into my Helium app and I located the miner that used to have relayed status, and then the status is completely gone. So I have successfully got rid of the relayed status. So again, from the Discord group, some guys are saying that you should fix relayed issue. If you don't, that might affect your mining profitability, because basically what relayed is meaning is Bobcat is having a hard time communicating with the network. It's relying on some other people's network in order to communicate to your Bobcat miner. So that is basically what's happening behind the scene. Hopefully these steps that you followed should be able to get rid of the relayed status on your Bobcat miner. Maybe sometimes you want to leave it overnight or at least 8 to 10 hours, I would say, because that's how long it took me. So that's it, guys. That's all you need to do to get rid of the relayed status on your Helium miner. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it really did, again, drop some comments and give it a like and subscribe to the channel for future content, as I want to share more and more Helium related video for you guys to show you guys how to do the setups and how the profit earning goes and how to upgrade your antenna and all that juicy stuff. I have many other crypto related videos. Feel free to go check them out. This is Tario Sultan, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.